It's all right. It's all right.
What's up, guys? It's the NW Sportscast. We're back for another video. Going to be going over some NFL predictions and trade rumors and coach rumors. Yeah, so first we're going to do winners
Subscribe,
and
hit that
losers.
bell, and comment below.
Yeah, subscribe. All right, so first we're going to do winners and losers. So, Drew, you want to do your winner for the week?
Sure. My winner is going to be Tom Brady, and just for a simple reason that lots of people thought that he couldn't get it done with Bill Belichick, and although he did have a pretty good season, it was kind of what people expected. And then they beat the Washington football team, something else people expected, but then the one thing that was kind of unexpected that he's done this season was go out and beat a Drew Brees-led Saints team. It was really crucial for Tom Brady's not crucial for Tom Brady's legacy, but it is a pretty big piece that he can win a playoff game without Bill Belichick. So I'm going to give him a huge winner. And he's already a huge winner in life, so it just says a lot.
All right, next let's do Alex's winner for the week.
All right, following up on what Drew said, going off of Tom Brady, a huge winner I have for this week is definitely Drew Brees' son. I mean, it's not every day that you can catch a pass from Tom Brady in the back of the end zone. So mad props to that guy.
That's a good one.
It's grit, determination, training. I mean, catching a pass from any quarterback is something, but like a dart from the GOAT himself, I mean, you don't get that every day. So definitely winner of the week up there.
Yeah, that's great. He might. I mean, by the time he's 2021, Tom Brady still might be playing. So
What?
teammates, maybe you never know.
Yeah, Miles, you got a winner for this week? Want to say that?
Just the Chiefs and their great job against the Bills, but that's basically it.
All right, Levi, you got a winner?
Well, for me, I had to go with the baseball. The New York Yankees, after seeing reports that they're going to be re-signing DJ LeMahieu, and then also seeing reports that it looks like Corey Kluber is also headed to the Yankees. So just looking at that, I mean, the Yankees are really trying hard to get to this World Series, and they're making all the right moves to do so. So I have the Yankees as my winner for the – yeah, look at Seth. He's got his Yankees hat on.
Oh, actually, sorry. I said the Bills against the Chiefs. I actually meant the Chiefs and the Browns. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Going on a tangent, I have another sport, and this one might be different, but the trade that the Brooklyn Nets made, it seems to be paying off a little bit, and I'm gonna put the whole Brooklyn Nets under a blanket.
It was totally set.
A blanket of appreciation here for a winner of the week. I mean,
Seth, you want to elaborate on that?
Having Kevin Durant, and then signing.
In their first game together, James Harden had 14 assists, showing us that he still can be a passer. And you saw KD have 40 in his first game with Harden, just looking like a good duo. And I'm not sure what Kyrie will do to the dynamic duo so far. And they're saying they beat the great Milwaukee Bucks team, so it's definitely paying off for them so far. Definitely, the Pacers lost the trade, but we can talk about that in a different time. And yeah, I mean that's definitely a big winner of the week.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So then, Drew, do you have a loser for this week?
I do, but Cody, you're a host. You don't get appreciated that much. Do you have a winner, Cody?
I'd probably say the Bills because they might get to play Chad Henne in the AFC Championship game, and that should be an easy win. And even if Patrick Mahomes is back, I feel like coming off of this, they could still get the win. So I think they're a winner. With their momentum, I think they'll win. They'll probably win, in my opinion.
Okay, so my loser is going to be off the Tom Brady thing. I'm going to go with Drew Brees, and that's just because obviously it sucks as a fan of football to see Drew Brees possibly go out like that. He's just been chasing a Super Bowl, which hasn't really been attainable. He obviously had a great chance against the Rams where that bogus pass interference call happened. Then you have the Minneapolis Miracle the year before. And then the year after the heartbreaking pass interference call, you have the questionable Kyle Rudolph push-off call. That could go either way. It wasn't as big of a controversy. But then playing the GOAT Tom Brady, highest quarterback age combined ever. And Tom Brady, who was in full year older, simply outplayed Drew Brees. He went out with, 3 picks?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely not expecting the 3 picks call by the referees. Definitely another call to add to the Saints list of calls.
Yeah, I mean, those were just some terrible calls. If he had just, I mean, maybe the refs could have just like called a penalty or something to make those picks not be there, just to help out Drew Brees a little bit.
Jameis Winston reminded me of my days of being an Eagles fan. When I was cheering for Hurts off the bench. I felt that same vibe when Winston threw that touchdown pass, man.
Yeah, Drew
The better days.
Brees, it was kind of tough to watch because if I wanted him to go out on a loss, I would want a close shootout with the GOAT, but that's not really what happened. If anything, he was the reason their team lost and not why their team won, and that just hurts. So my loser is going to be Drew Brees. I think the Saints are going to be back. That's why the Saints as a whole, I don't think they're going to be a loser, but I'm going to pick Drew Brees.
So going off.
Gotta retire at his home field after all those years there.
Yeah.
Going off what Drew said about the Saints, another loser I have is another one of Drew Brees' sons for bullying his daughter. Now, having respect for your sister. I mean, you heard Tom Brady talk about it. Be nice to your sister, and he yelled no, and I mean everybody heard it, and I mean that's a low blow. I mean, being mean to your sister, that's just Drew Brees' sons, they're on the 50-50 here with winners and losers. I mean, in order to catch a touchdown pass, you got to have some respect. I mean, so be nice to your sister.
Yeah. Miles, you got a loser?
I was just gonna say the same thing what Drew said about Breeze and how he's leaving the game and stuff, and yeah.
All right, Levi, you got a loser?
Yeah, in fact, I have 2. Firstly, in the baseball world, the Mets general manager has been fired. It looks like Seth wants to talk about that, so I'll leave that to Seth. But anyways,
you can.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna say the name. I don't want to give any credence to a guy like him, but he seems, from what we've heard, he's a very bad person. And the Mets making the right decision, of course, firing him. But this is probably going to fraction their management, at least for now, while they search for a new GM. So unfortunately for the Mets, not a good thing to come out of your organization when you hear that your GM is, I think it was some sort of like sexual assaulted through text messages. Just not a good thing to see. My other loser was Lamar Jackson. Just the fact that he has to exit the game with his injury, and you end up like, now everyone is going to be saying, oh, Lamar can't beat good teams. Oh, Lamar can't win the playoffs, when it's not even his fault. He got injured.
No, that pick six is an awful pass.
Yes, the pick six was his fault.
Levi, Lamar could be considered as a winner, though, because the Bills Mafia then donated a bunch of money to his favorite charity. So,
well, I still wouldn't say that's a winner. I would say he's a loser. A, for losing, but B, because the way he lost is just, it's pretty sad for Lamar, considering everyone always makes fun of him for not being able to win the big games, and then he gets hurt, and now people are going to continue to say that next year.
Levi, but the thing is that pick six was a 14-point swing, right? They're in the red zone, and then it goes.
Yeah, the pick six was bad, but their defense, with the way their defense was playing, if Lamar plays the whole game, there's a chance that they win.
How many points were scored that game? It was like what, 20s?
20.
Yeah, so 14-point swing. That's a lot. Assuming they punch it in the red zone.
So
all I'm saying is, with him, they could have scored. They could have easily made up 2 touchdowns and tied it.
Going off of
seriously doubt that.
Going off the defensive bandwagon that we've caressed onto, I have a sort of loser as the Browns defense on that 4th down call. I mean, it's Andy Reid, first of all, and it's Tyreek Hill lined up on the outside. The Chiefs. The Browns were definitely pulled. I mean, the Browns, the defense, the whole game was kind of itsy. I mean, sure, they had to pick on Chad Henne, but like Chad Henne led the team to a win because he was able to rush through a Browns pass defense and also throw through a secondary with Ward back. So I think the Browns definitely. I mean, we saw it last week. We saw it last week against the Steelers. I mean, they almost allowed the Steelers to come back. And I think the Browns defense as a whole was definitely sketchy going into this game, and they ended the game a little bit sketchy as well.
Yeah, okay, Seth. You got a loser?
Yeah, well, my loser is it's not official yet, but this could be a loser. Patrick Mahomes, if he does not get to play, that would be a major loser for him. He has a pretty easy chance to go back to back. Honestly, I think they can beat any team with Mahomes, and he goes down with a concussion. And luckily for him, Chad Henne closes out his game. That was not a great game for the Chiefs. I mean, they still put up 22, but concussion protocol, and he had to clear all 5 stages to be able to play, and that may not happen. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, okay. So jumping out of winners and losers, let's go on to our NFL, AFC and NFC championship game predictions. So Drew, you'll start and then just go around. So
Yeah,
first
sure.
game,
I'll go.
the first game is the Chiefs versus the Bills. So yeah, Drew.
Yeah, so we have 6 people here, so I'll keep it quick. But my guess is that Patrick Mahomes is going to play. It's not usually likely that after a week, the quarterback that has the concussion protocol doesn't play back. However, he is dealing with a foot injury. I don't know how much is going to affect him, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to play. Andy Reid's offense really, really dynamic, pretty potent, and I think they're going to get the win against a really, really good Bills team, but they're still quite young. You have to remember Josh Allen is still a young quarterback, and this is their first year as a contender, a true contender, and I don't think that they're going to quite get to the top of the mountain quite yet.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah, Alex.
So I have the Bills winning 24-21. I think whether Patrick Mahomes comes back or not, this Bills team is so much more evolved mentally than Kansas City will ever be. Also, Kansas City's been struggling with their offense in the first quarter, in the first half, in these past couple of games. I think the Bills' defense alone has built itself to be a really, good defense. I mean, they don't have all the picks to show for it, but they play games hard. I mean, they held Baltimore to 3 points despite having Lamar play through 3/4 of the game. They had the incredible pick six. So I think Josh Allen's going to get it done, definitely with Diggs, and I think the Bills are going to move on to the Super Bowl.
All right, Miles.
So I have the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs beating the Bills. I think it's going to be a close game, but because I think Mahomes will play, but if he doesn't, then I have it going to the Bills, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play. But yeah, so I have the Chiefs beating the Bills, but it's going to be a close game, I think.
All right, Levi.
Levi can go.
Oh, just.
I take the Bills. To be honest, I think just the way the Chiefs have been playing, they play. I kind of agree with the take that I've heard a lot coming from the ESPN analysts. The Chiefs do not really play with a ton of urgency. They kind of feel like a slow, sort of meandering feel to them. And then every so often they get a 75-yard pass to Tyreek Hill, and then you forget that they may not have been playing the best game before that. But now combine this with the fact that Mahomes, if he plays, he's probably not going to be 100%. And there's also a chance that he doesn't play. I know a lot of people are calling for him to not play because they just want to see the NFL do the right thing, apparently, with their concussion protocol. I don't know if I would say it's just the right thing to sit him out. I feel like if he passes concussion protocol, there's no reason to sit him. But I don't know.
Especially when it's done by a private.
Yeah.
It's not done with the team doctors.
Yeah. But right now, I just feel like if Mahomes plays, he's not going to be 100%. And even if he doesn't play, Chad Henne, he's not gonna get him the win. So I'm gonna take the Bills probably by a touchdown. I'm gonna say Buffalo 29, Kansas City 22, or Kansas City 23, a 6-point win, 29-23. Buffalo's headed to the Super Bowl.
29.
Yeah.
29. That's a number you don't see every day in
All
football
the
game.
signs point Buffalo. Clyde Tiller, who had like 100 and something, I think it was like 140 rushing yards the first time they played. It's questionable. Mahomes has toe injury and maybe concussion. Questionable. Chad Henne's not a great backup. Questionable. But I think that Mahomes probably will end up playing. And just because of Mahomes' impact and the Bills defense is good, like Alex said, but I don't think they're good enough to stop Kelsey and Mahomes. And if Edward Hiller can play, he could be a factor in this game like he was in week, was it 6? I think it was 4 or something. So I think the Chiefs will barely beat the Bills. And honestly, this is the hardest pick for me. I mean, only 2 picks, but this is the harder pick for me. And I think the Bills will barely come up short this year. And maybe next year's their year, but I think this will be Patty's most likely second Super Bowl in a row.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say mine real quickly. I think it's gonna be Bills 31-24. I think.
Wow. So it's a tie.
I think Mahomes is gonna play. But I still think the Bills will pull it out. They're probably gonna get a pick, which is gonna be crucial. Their defense is that good that they can pick off Mahomes. And yeah. Okay.
So just to clarify to the people watching at home, we have 3 picks for the Chiefs, 3 picks for the Bills. It's tied. Leave your voice in the comment sections. Be the tiebreaker. Who do you think is going to win the Chiefs versus Bills matchup? It's going to be a great game.
All right, and then so in the other game in the NFC, we have Buccaneers versus the Packers. So it's Brady versus Rodgers. Drew, you want to say yours first?
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I like Tom Brady in this one. I think he has what it takes. Obviously Aaron Rodgers is playing at an elite level, but the Buccaneers are playing really, really well right now. And I don't know. I have a weird feeling that it doesn't make much sense, but I really like Tom Brady, and that's kind of my only explanation, to be honest. So I'm going to pick the Bucs.
Viewer discretion advised, people. Drew's delusional thoughts are getting ahead of him here. This game's a given. I mean, we'll just end it there.
A given.
There is no way that Tom Brady is going to outperform Aaron Rodgers in the season that he's had. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP candidate. I mean, he's going to win MVP. There is. I'm gonna go like 31 to like 17.
Okay, but you think Tom Brady is gonna let that happen?
Drew, shush. Viewer discretion advised. Once again, the Buccaneers, they've been etch-a-sketchy. I mean, they let Heineken almost drown them in their sorrows. They didn't play a great first half of football against the Saints. I mean, Brees was bad, but Tom Brady was 4 of 11 in the first quarter for 14 yards and 3 points. Yeah, no, that didn't look like Tom Brady to me. And only after they got the 3 picks on the Saints side of the field did they ever capitalize. I think one thing that'll be going for the Buccaneers is their run game with Leonard Fournette and, of course, Ronald Jones back. But then you look at the Packers and they have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams at running back. I mean, everything is against the Buccaneers here. I mean, we haven't heard a lot about the Green Bay secondary this year, but I mean, they've been performing well. Their defense plays well. They're able to finish off games. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to absolutely slaughter the GOAT in this game.
Slaughter. Oh, okay.
All right, Miles.
I'm also going to be going with the Packers. I agree with a lot with what Alex said, but I think it's actually going to be a closer game than he said. I think it's going to be probably within a touchdown or so. Yeah.
Who do you like, Miles? Who do you prefer, Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees? Who do you like more?
Could you say that again?
Like, if you were just had a random team, would you rather pick Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady in this matchup?
I actually gotta go with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's all.
Levi, what do you think?
Yeah, Levi.
Oh, well, for me, it's clearly the Packers. I don't think it's going to be I don't agree with Alex, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be probably pretty close. I envision a game that the Packers probably control it, but the Bucs are hanging in there the entire time. Tom Brady will have a chance in the fourth quarter, but
and he'll
forget that it's fourth down.
But he's gonna throw an incomplete pass, just a normal.
Godwin's gonna miss it in the end zone again.
Yeah, maybe
he's gonna
something
forget
like
it's
that.
Fourth down.
And then Rodgers will take a couple of knees and end the game. I'm gonna say my score prediction: 30 for the Packers, 26 for the Buccaneers. 30-26.
Wow. Okay.
I'm fine with that.
All right, well, I'm gonna start off with a little story here. So when I was up snowboarding, I saw a guy wearing a Packers Ha Ha Clinton Dix jersey, and I asked him, "Who would you rather play, the Bucks or the Saints?" And he said he'd rather play the Saints. And I asked him why, and he said, "Well, the Bucks destroyed us, which is very true. The Bucks did kill the Packers.
Oh, they did.
Because Tom Brady is the GOAT, and on any given night he can go out and get a win. And just because of that reason, Tom Brady, I think the Bucks will win this matchup over the Green Bay Packers. That Tampa Bay defense is actually not bad. They've been inconsistent, but some games they really do play like a great defense. I mean, they have a good young secondary, a better experienced front seven, and a pretty experienced linebacking core. And we saw them get 3 interceptions last week on one of the most efficient passes in the league at Drew Brees. So if they can just come out there and maybe get one turnover on Aaron Rodgers, and that Brady and the Bucks offense with Godwin and Evans, and I guess even Antonio Brown's not considered one of their best players, and Ronald Jones, if he can have a good game, or Fournette, because he had a great game last week. This could definitely, I think this team will win this game. And it'll probably be pretty close, but as long as the defense can get a turnover and that can help out that Bucks offense, just get them one more chance with the ball, the Bucks team could win this game, and Brady will be going to his, 8th Super Bowl? And I think he has a legit chance to win the Super Bowl.
All right.
Is he 6 right now? Wouldn't he be going for his 10th Super Bowl?
I don't know what number it actually. I don't actually know.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's-
so
7th win. I don't know.
for me, all signs point to Packers.
Man, he's got the right
But-
idea.
But
That's right. This would be his 10th Super Bowl.
Packers are
He's
still gonna
currently
win.
6-3 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
yeah, all signs point to the Bucks to lose, but the Packers are still going to win. So yeah, that's exactly what I think.
Just throwing it out there that one of the 3 teams is the Eagles. We were able to
True.
run the ball on the 1-yard line. Okay, continue.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I think it will be close in the first half, and in the second half, the Packers are gonna pull away. Final score 35-27. Yeah.
And I see if I were to guess like a sort of swing of halves, I would go opposite to Cody. I would feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would struggle in the first half, and the Packers are going to get out to like a 10 or 13 point lead. And then the second half, Tom Brady is going to have to pull the team back in order to try and get it close.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So then.
I just feel like the Packers' presence in the first half this year, I mean, they've scored, 40 points on opening drives? No, 73 points on opening drives this year.
Yeah, I think they have like the most in the league.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the presence of the Packers in the first half is scary because
That's true.
they're able to get off to a fast start and they're able to continue that start throughout the game. And I think what Tampa Bay lacks is sort of a kickstarter. I mean, you've got a 45-year-old guy under center, 44, I'm sorry, it's a year. And I mean, he's looked pretty off in the first halves of a couple of games. I will say that much. And I think what's going to win it for the Packers is their first half presence and getting a lead, which Tom Brady cannot bring them back from.
Yeah. All right. So, who do you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl? Off of your predictions for these games, Levi, I'll have you go first.
Well, I'm picking the Bills and the Packers to be in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to say Buffalo to win it. I don't know. Part of me always remembers that the Packers had that terrible loss to the Vikings. They had that blowout loss against the who was it? The Bucks. Yeah, they had the blowout loss against the Bucks. So those 2 games really lost my confidence that the Packers can win a Super Bowl. In fact, up until this week when I watched the Saints lose, I thought the Packers were not going to make the Super Bowl. I thought they would get pretty well beaten by the Saints, and now I do think they will beat the Bucks very close, but I don't think they will beat the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills will go down to Tampa Bay, win the Super Bowl off the backs of Josh Allen, and Aaron Rodgers will go home wondering what went wrong.
All right, Drew, you got a prediction?
Yeah, so right now I have the Bucks and the Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs. They're gonna repeat. They're gonna beat the GOAT. The GOAT's gonna go 6-4 in the Super Bowls, and Patrick Mahomes is going to ride off into the sunset
With his
All right. Yeah,
his
Alex.
shampoo. some shampoo.
Second ring.
So I have the Packers and the Bills, and I think this is going to be one of the closest Super Bowls we've seen, despite, one of the best being the Eagles versus the Patriots. That one was just a back and forth and a great game to watch. I'd recommend,
Okay.
going to watch it. If you have an NFL Game Pass account, please go find it. It's one of the best games I've ever enjoyed. It's really emotional, and it's a great game, full of swings, and it's all the way down to the end. Anyway, continuing on the point. I think it's going to come down to a fourth quarter play. Now, I have the Packers winning it by 3, and I think that it'll be tied up 27-27 going into the fourth quarter. And the Packers are going to throw it deep to Devontae Adams, and they're going to set up a game-winning field goal to win it 30-27. And Aaron Rodgers is going to get his second Super Bowl ring.
All right, Miles.
So I have my prediction is the Packers and the Chiefs go into the Super Bowl. And I think that the Chiefs are going to be pulling this off and going to get their second Super Bowl in a row. I think it is going to be a high-scoring game, and it's going to be pretty close, and it's going to come down to the wire. But I have the Chiefs coming in on top.
Yep.
How
Seth?
about you, Cody?
Oh,
Seth?
I'll go first.
Seth?
I have the same as Drew, Bucks versus Chiefs, and I think Brady will make it to the Super Bowl. He'll beat Rodgers. He beat Breeze. He beat Heineke, but he will not Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is already the best player in the league. Brady's the best player ever, but I think Mahomes can easily overtake that in the coming time. And it'll be passing the torch game, basically. Brady probably won't retire, but this probably will be his last best run of his career. I think next year they could maybe get a wild card, but I think they'll lose in the Super Bowl this year. And it'll be like a passing the torch moment. Mahomes will now be the greatest player in the league, probably. Like, there's no question about it. And, the Chiefs will win this one. Probably pretty close. I'd say like 10 to 13-point game.
All
That's
right.
close.
Yeah, and it's actually low scoring too. So.
Yeah. Cody, what do you think?
So I have the Bills versus the Packers.
Cody. I didn't say 10 and 13. I said that the point differential will be between 10 and 13, not a 13 to 10 game.
I thought you said 10 to 13.
That's kind of a lot, but yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, so that's not low. It doesn't have to be low scoring. I have the Bills versus the Packers, and it will probably. I feel like the Bills will pull this out. Their defense will get critical stops, and Rodgers is not gonna have the best game of his life. He's not gonna have an insane game, and that's why they're gonna lose. I think the Bills will get this. I think it'll be a kind of high-scoring game, maybe like 35 to like 28 or something. But it's not gonna be like a blowout. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, got anything else
Has
to talk
everyone
about?
gone?
Yeah.
Has everyone gone? Yeah. Okay. So there are some NFL trade rumors and
Yes,
lots of
Deshaun
new-
Watson. That's the biggest
Yeah,
one
lots
in
of
my
new-
opinion.
Yeah, lots of new head coach signings and stuff. So I guess Cody, which one do you want to get started with, and we can kind of voice our opinions really quick.
Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
What-
I guess I'll open the floor to Alex. Alex, you want to talk about it?
Me talk about Deshaun Watson?
Yeah,
I don't know where to really start. I mean, it's a tough place to be in Texas right now, especially in Houston with the Houston Texans. The organization is crumbling. I mean, you've got J.J. Watt, an all-pro defensive end who wants out as well. You have Deshaun Watson who wants out. And when your quarterback and all-pro defensive end want out, the team starts to realize, and the players start to realize, if all of our good players are leaving because something's wrong, shouldn't I leave as well? And I think what's happening to the Texans is, what happened to the trying to think of a team. What happened to the Cardinals before they had Kyler Murray? I think the Texans are going to start the quarterback cycle. And what I mean is they're going to go through quarterbacks looking for somebody because they expect a player like Deshaun Watson. You know, when the Ravens, when the Cardinals moved on.
So wait, you're glitching out a little bit.
When they had Brock Osweiler and
Just a
all
tad bit.
He said something about Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, I know. He's talking about, you know, the Texans have gone through this before when they were cycling quarterbacks. And I feel like when they lose Deshaun Watson, I think the Texans are done. They've lost Hopkins. They're going to lose J.J. Watt. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He wants out just as bad as the quarterback. And I think the Texans franchise is going to have a lot of rebuilding to do. In terms of where Watson's going, I have some various rumors. You know, I read the thing about Miami's trade that could happen, you know, with Tango Vailoa going to the Houston Texans. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Tango Vailoa fits the scheme there. You know, Tango Vailoa, I mean, he's an okay thrower, but if you look at like the Texans, they're always a throw first team. And, you know, Tango Vailoa having to rely on like a lot of running backs and the running back power at Alabama. And I think also like Myles Gaskin coming out in Miami, I think things will just kind of set him off and it won't be a great fit for him. In terms of Deshaun Watson, on the other hand, I think Miami could be a good place for him with Devontae Parker and rising Miami Dolphin wide receivers coming in. You know, Deshaun Watson hasn't had the experience of a good run game. You know, David Johnson wasn't the greatest in that trade that occurred. And I think a run game will definitely benefit him because it'll take a lot less stress off of him. I mean, he was thrown right under the bus this season because, you know, you lose your number one wide receiver on a trade. You've got a running back who hasn't been good for 4 years. And so you're pressured to throw the ball over and over again. And when you have your second best wide receiver getting kicked out of the league because he's doing drugs, you know, it's a lot of mental pressure and it's a lot of physical pressure. And I think he's lucky that fans weren't there. Another place I think he could fit well is if the 49ers move on from Garoppolo. I think the scheme that Kyle Shanahan has going, it'll introduce Deshaun Watson to a sort of throw first, but more towards, you know, tight ends as well as wide receivers. It'll introduce a stronger running game as well. It'll take some stress off of him. And I also think that the players he'll be surrounded by will definitely benefit his, you know, his stature and his play type, you know, whether that's running the ball a little bit or also, you know, getting those good checkdowns as well as deep passes, which he's pretty good at.
Well, real quick, Alex, I have to disagree with that take. I do not think Deshaun Watson fits well in San Francisco. Just the way I see San Francisco, and I think to myself, Kyle Shanahan, he runs that team, and he does not let the quarterback have much of a say at all. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, it basically is like a dog on the leash of Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan's just telling him what to do. And it's honestly, it's more that George Kittle and it's more Raheem Mostert's offense than it is Jimmy Garoppolo's offense. And I don't know if Deshaun Watson wants to go into a system where it's a run-first system where the coach seems to have all the say, and he very much has restricted Garoppolo. So I just don't know if Deshaun Watson wants to take that risk of, like, he will not have much of a leadership role in that team.
Here's an interesting point, though. Is he willing to take the risk to step down from such a leadership role that he had on the Texans? I mean, you look at the way stress affected him this year. I mean, what did the Texans go, 4-12, 5-11?
Do you think that's because of stress, or do you think that's because their defense was that bad?
I don't think the defense is all to blame here. I think the way the team was coached, first of all, you have Bill O'Brien getting fired. And secondly, the amount of strain and pressure put on Deshaun Watson to carry a team. I mean, he had the most passing yards this season by any quarterback, and he went 4-12.
Yeah.
You know, it shows just how much physical strain he was under to throw the ball and like constantly keep his team moving, because he knew that there was no way they were going to win games if he did not perform, because he was the best player on that team now that Hopkins was gone. I think that against
he was already the best on the team.
I think against Levi's point, he would perform well under Kyle Shanahan just because the limitation and him taking a step back would allow him to really encompass the fact that, you know, running the ball can help my team as well. And, you know, not being pressured to throw the ball every down will help me not only as a player on the field, but also off the field, you know, mentally and physically.
I'm gonna have.
What was that, Drew?
I'm gonna have to disagree with both of you guys. Actually, I think he is not going to Miami. Me?
Oh, I can hear you, Drew.
No, Seth. We can't hear Seth.
Oh, okay. So I do not think he's going to Miami because the owner and GM both said they really like Tua. And again, this was the person that people were literally tanking for Tua. It's been 1 year. Yes, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow look great, but not all rookies break out in their first year. And I didn't expect Tua to break out in his first year. I don't think you're meant to expect the rookies to break out in his first year, especially with, Fitzpatrick playing for more than half the year. No, obviously preseason, a new scheme that he's never been in. I just think that it's really, really irresponsible from the Miami front office to trade Tua so early. Will I think it happen? Absolutely not. But going back to the 49ers thing, I think the 49ers would be a great fit because Deshaun Watson really wants to play for a contender, and the 49ers really need a quarterback, right? And despite Levi's statement about George Kittle, etc., I'm sure George Kittle would love to be with Deshaun Watson and a great quarterback. I think Kyle Shanahan's a good enough coach to change his scheme around Deshaun Watson because I think he realizes how great Deshaun Watson is. And it's just a great match of a team. You don't have many teams that are contenders without a real quarterback, and that's what the 49ers are. And quite honestly, I really, really hope that he does not go to the 49ers because I don't want to play Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson 4 times in total. That's not going to be fun. But
playing Jared Goff, the immature.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree and disagree with both of you guys. And one more place that might be looking, there's possible rumors about him going to the Jets with a trade for Trevor Lawrence. That'd be pretty funny just because
that's way out of the ballpark at this point.
No, I think it's like the third most likely according to like a bunch of
the Jets. It looks like the Jets aren't even going to pick a quarterback though. Which would really be surprising. Like all the analytics have them picking an offensive line.
Wait, Drew, you said they traded him for Trevor Lawrence, but the Jets are tanking for Trev.
No, I know, but yeah. So I guess I don't know what I was thinking there. I was thinking, yeah. Anyways, I think that's also a possible
maybe for like Justin Fields, like if they
that'd be going from a situation that's pretty bad to a situation that's worse. And yeah, Seth.
Seth, hopefully you have jersey insurance for that.
Yeah, I got this. I'm gonna start off. I got this jersey for Christmas, and I kept the tags on. Luckily for me, so I can get a refund. But yeah, I like Deshaun Watson. I like him since Clemson, and I wanted to succeed, and the Texans wasn't the place for him. And it's pretty clear now we'll get traded most likely, and like they said, 49ers, Jets, even of course the Dolphins was the first one came up. Like Drew said, the Dolphins would be stupid to trade Tua, the first-year quarterback, plus that third overall pick, and something else. And quarterback that they tanked for Deshaun, they need to keep developing Tua and see what his potential is. You don't know what he can be yet. It was 1 year, and you had an up year. So, like I said, I just should not do that at all.
All right.
For the 49ers, I actually would agree. He'd be a pretty good fit because he does need a running game. As much as he likes passing the ball, he needs a running game, and they do have a pretty balanced with the pass team. And Levi said Kyle Shanahan to have him be a dog on leash. And I think Kyle Shanahan, if he has a quarterback caliber, he would give him some more free will of the offense. He would let him have audibles. He'd let him get play calls for like deep passes. That's what he wants. I think Kyle Shanahan can adapt to a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. But I would absolutely hate if he goes to the 49ers because then I would probably not be able to like him anymore, which sucks. I probably still like him, whatever. But I really hope he did not go to the 49ers and somewhere else instead. But yeah.
So I pose 2 questions to you. What happens if the Texans trade Deshaun Watson? Do you think they'll end up taking a quarterback in the draft? And secondly, is New England a viable option for Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
Well, why don't I go ahead and answer one of those questions? New England is certainly a viable option, in my opinion, much more viable than the 49ers, because I think the organization in New England knows much more than San Francisco that they need to get a better star quarterback, where San Francisco has a guy who got them to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and New England has a guy in Cam Newton who is really struggling, and a guy in Jarrett Stidham who looks like he can't really play. still looks like he can't
He's
play.
the GOAT.
But
He's the
honestly,
GOAT.
to me, I don't think Watson will go anywhere. I don't think they're gonna get enough trade because I think they want really, really great return for Watson. I don't think they will get that great of a return considering he's on a 5 years left or 6 years left on his contract. And I think that in the most part the Texans will end up deciding to keep him. But
Watson
Seth,
to
you
Arizona
can
for
answer.
Hopkins.
Seth, you can go ahead and answer that first question about do they draft a
well,
quarterback?
as they don't have their first round pick, there's someone in the second round. Probably like I don't know if they could even snag a Kyle Trask. Maybe if they end up trading Deshaun Watson, then yeah, you probably do take a quarterback and just see what you can get in that second or third round. They can wait around quarterback, and if he doesn't develop, then that's fine. You can try to sign someone else.
Yeah, and I feel like
Wait, Levi.
If you do get a higher
I
pick,
think we should
it's
let
not
Miles
gonna be
weigh in on
quarterback,
this.
so they could probably go either way. You maybe see him on board.
yeah, Miles, what are your thoughts?
To be honest, in the beginning when you guys were talking about this, my Wi-Fi was starting to cut out, so I sort of don't know what you guys are talking about, but I do.
Deshaun Watson.
What about him? Sorry,
The two questions I posed were: one, do you think he'd be a viable option for New England? And two, do you think Houston would get its crap together and try and draft a quarterback?
Basically, there's some trade rumors that Deshaun Watson might be traded to a bunch of different teams, and New England's one of the options. Yeah.
So I think that he actually would work decently in New England, and I think I don't know. We'll see if the Texans will actually, like Alex said, pull their crap together and get a good quarterback.
Who is the Texans' second string if they do end up trading Deshaun?
Well, right now they have AJ McCarron, who McCarron maybe would be fine
for a year
to
and then
start
try
a
and get
couple games.
draft
I mean,
pick?
McCarron's not very good. Let's be honest here. McCarron has played like 4 games in his career, but maybe if they draft a guy, you start McCarron the first couple weeks and then see how he does, and then if he's not good, then you move on to your second round draft pick. But the fact that they don't have a first rounder puts them in a tough spot. So if I'm them, the only way I'm trading Watson is if I'm getting a Tua or a Jimmy G or a Darnold or somebody back for him. Like,
what if they get traded a first round?
Or if you sign Cam Newton, maybe because Cam Newton is a free agent, so maybe you sign Cam or you sign Jameis Winston, who's also a free agent. That could be your
Carson
other
Wentz.
option.
Please take him.
Or
please
Wentz,
take Carson.
maybe Wentz.
Please.
You'd have to trade for Wentz though. So, and I don't think the
Take
Eagles
him.
want
Take his
Watson.
Alex,
120
you are.
They're not
I
trading
hate
for
Eagles
Wentz.
fans. They're some of the most disloyal people I have literally ever met. I have Lorenzo coming in like, so you guys have to go with Doug Peterson. I'm like,
got my
literally,
first
shut up.
on the way.
Shut up. This is my rant. Literally, 2-3 years ago, Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz was your mwah. Those are the people that turned that franchise around. And now Carson Wentz has one bad year, and you're like, please get rid of him. Jalen Hurts is going to have a bad year, and you're going to do the same thing. Doug Peterson was also a fine coach. Yeah, he did a pretty questionable move, but they weren't playing for anything at the end of the year anyways. I don't know. I just think that, Alex, I don't know how you justify you going flippy-floppy so much.
It's the world, Drew. Look around you. Look around us.
I'm not going
The world is
flippy-floppy.
changing. You better change with it, buddy.
So you think Carson Wentz can never be a serviceable quarterback in the NFL?
What happened to Hasselbeck? I'll just leave you with that.
No. I'm asking you a question.
No, he doesn't fit in our scheme anymore.
By the way, what happened to
lost...
Hasselbeck? Hasselbeck spent like 18 years in the NFL, and he continued to be a solid backup for multiple teams after he left Seattle.
Got it. I think honestly, Carson Wentz would do so well on the Colts. Like I'm rooting for that guy because Frank.
Yeah, the $30 million contract. I'm sure they'd love him.
$128 million. Frank Reich
a year
would turn him into a great player because that's.
And plus, they can renegotiate. They can just
renegotiate.
After one more year, they can renegotiate his deal.
Exactly. At this
They just
point,
have to beat the crap and pay him 30 mil for 2021. And if he sucks, then in 2022 you can renegotiate it to like 10 mil. But
At this-
still, I mean,
at
it's
this
not a
point-
great deal.
what's frustrating me is the fact that the Eagles are looking for coaches to benefit Carson Wentz, which means that it looks like Carson Wentz is going to stay next year. And that infuriates me. I mean, it doesn't make me super mad, but I feel like I'm giving him a chance. I think, hopefully, maybe a coach could turn him around. I doubt it. I really do. And I think Hurts will end up being our starter again next year. But I mean, yeah,
Whatever, buddy.
it's rough being a fan who won a Super Bowl recently and knew how to run the ball.
Yeah, and
All right,
and
Levi.
speaking of coaches, we've got so the Eagles.
Coaches.
Who do you think the Eagles will hire? Cody, do you know who the other hires have been? You can just let all of our viewers know the other hires.
No, I don't.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
I do.
just to let you know. So, yeah, Alex wanted
So the Jets hired
Robert Saleh, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Saleh. The Jacksonville Jaguars hired Urban Meyer, which was yikes! Everybody in the league hated that one. Let's see. The Falcons are negotiating.
The Falcons went with Arthur Smith from the Titans, right?
Yeah.
And
then
the Lions. The Lions are probably going to sign the tight end coach from the Saints. I don't know his name, but he's some random guy.
It's looking like the Eagles are going to go with Josh McDaniels from the Patriots.
Yeah.
Because
So do you
it was
think
released that his interview went very well. So.
Yeah.
And it
if
looks
I was
like,
them, I would take a chance on a young guy. I think Joe Brady on the Panthers. He seems.
But I
like
mean,
a
Josh
very good
McDaniels is
candidate.
young as well.
McDaniel, yeah, but he's been in the league for quite a while.
And
But
it
yeah,
looks like-
that's true. McDaniel's
It looks like
Seth?
it looks like Doug Peterson is heading to Seattle maybe to mess up their offense as well. Not
Seth's
saying that it doesn't
opinion
need
on
it anymore.
Eagles coach.
I don't follow the Eagles at all, so honestly, I don't really kick them out there. My Eagles and
Yep, every word. I get it.
you can go hire. You can go hire or fire. I honestly don't care.
Gotcha. Very interesting.
Miles, do you think that Josh McDaniels, the New England offensive coordinator, would do good in the Eagles head coach?
Not really, no. That's all I got to say about that.
Wow, haters.
Levi, give me your top candidate for the Seahawks offensive coordinator job. Mine is actually Doug Peterson. Surprisingly enough.
He's your problem now.
I would probably rather see them hire Anthony Lynn, but to be honest, if I could have my preference, it would not be a guy who just got fired. I would hire somebody from college.
You've really got to weigh your options here. You have go for it on every fourth down or not know how to manage the clock. I mean, wow, you guys are really going with some good options here. I mean, Seahawks are going to be so good.
If I was them, I would interview somebody from college. Maybe like, I don't know, a Brian Kelly or somebody like that. Somebody who actually knows what they're doing and knows how to manage a team.
That's right,
Not
because colleges know what they're doing.
Well, Brian Kelly has had a couple of really good seasons with Notre Dame. And you look at the guys who we're interviewing. We've literally interviewed 3 guys who just got fired, right? Anthony Lynn, Doug Peterson, Adam Gase. They all just got fired.
Adam Gase.
Like, why are we doing this? So if I was them,
Doug Peterson is a fine hire.
Or Lincoln Riley. I know Lincoln Riley. People think he could be a head coach. Maybe he wants to be our offensive coordinator.
He's getting paid too much at the college level to ever come up to the NFL. I mean,
yeah, well,
look, Seattle's really got their options in front of them. They have.
How about Ryan Day? How about we go for Ryan Day? I'd be down for Ryan Day from Ohio State. He'd be good.
Ryan Day will not leave Ohio State. So he's not.
If you pay him enough, he will.
Who's the guy from OU who's looking for a trade up to the NFL?
From Oklahoma?
OU?
Yeah, who's the Sooners head coach?
Lincoln Riley.
Isn't that Lincoln Riley?
Oh yeah, that's right. He would be a good option as a head coach or offensive coordinator.
That's what I said. I would take Lincoln Riley as an offensive coordinator. I mean, that's the guy.
I would take Doug Peterson, and here's the reason. Here's the reason. Because
I would take a field goal instead of a 4th
What's
and
so
15.
What's so good about Doug Peterson, who goes for 2 every single time?
I love his
and 4th down.
analytics. I love his analytics approach to the NFL. I love that he just went to a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback.
I love the way the glasses sit on his
I love
nose.
that he just took someone named Jalen Hurts and
bullied
he
him.
turned him in
And won
to
one game.
one
I love
of
how
the
he
best
won one game.
rookie
I love how he won one
quarterbacks
game
in
and
the
yet
entire
completely
NFL
diverted back to Carson
against the
Wentz.
Saints.
I know,
And
man.
Jalen Hurts is a lot like Russell Wilson. I just love everything about Doug Peterson.
Yes, definitely.
He's a really unique mind that likes to run the football. He's gonna be
No, he
great
doesn't.
he
In the
does.
last stretch,
No, he
Miles Sanders
doesn't.
ran the football
Yes, he
less
does
than
like to run the
10
ball.
times.
He does like to
No,
run the ball.
Drew,
Yeah, he
Miles
does.
Sanders literally did not run at all this year.
Yeah,
He
because Miles
hates
Sanders sucks.
running the
but
football.
he
Then
likes
again,
to run
Seattle
the
doesn't have
ball.
a run game, so
He's going to agree with Pete
Oh,
Carroll's philosophy
no,
of
he's
running the
not.
ball.
2 old men don't agree.
And he's gonna stand up to Pete Carroll when there's dumb plays like pass the ball on the 2-yard line. He's gonna be like, let's run the ball.
No, he's gonna be
That's
like, let's go for
why
2.
I love Doug Peterson.
I don't. But-
yeah, I like this.
So, Drew, you were saying that he's transformed this Jalen Hurts quarterback, and that his analytics are good. From an analytics standpoint, first of all, the way he transformed Jalen Hurts was not a transformation, merely a Carson Wentz, you're still my guy. I'm gonna play around with this toy for now, but I'm gonna come back to you later. Imagine a toddler, right? You have.
There was rumors that he wanted
to
to go with Jalen Hurts, and everybody else in the organization wanted to go with Carson Wentz, and that's why that was one of the reasons he got fired.
Crap. Carson Wentz, they are like a thing. And just imagine Carson Wentz is one car, Jalen Hurts is another. Doug Peterson said, "Oh, Carson Wentz car, I don't want to play with you right now. I'm gonna play with this other car for a couple of games, and then I'm gonna come back to you because you've been my guy for the past 4 years." He didn't put all the coaching force that I think he could have into Jalen Hurts. I mean, he saw Jalen Hurts as a backup for every game. I mean, technically he was, but he was a starting quarterback, and Doug Peterson couldn't see past the backup role. He was stuck living with an offense that Carson Wentz couldn't control. And I think honestly, I think he would do all right in Seattle, but I feel like things wouldn't go as well as you would expect.
Well, we're all talking about what he did with Jalen Hurts, but can we just appreciate how much he helped Nate Sudfeld's development this year? I mean,
oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that.
Sudfeld went from being just a loser to being one of the best players on the planet, as we all watched in that incredible performance he put up against Washington.
He went from being a loser to being a loser.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sudfeld, according to my rankings, is the 78th worst quarterback out of 79 this year.
Who's number not 79?
Robert Griffin III.
What? RG3 is the gamer. He's awesome.
Yeah, those 2 picks and 20 passing yards in his entire game. That was great.
Where do you have actually never mind.
Are you asking about Hurts?
No, I was gonna ask about what's the other Baltimore Ravens quarterback?
Oh, McSorley.
Trace McSorley.
I have him. I can pull it up. I have
Throw it on a dime.
No.
Trace McSorley is ranked at number 65 for me.
Oof.
Yeah.
You have his number 1.
Aaron Rodgers. Obviously.
Where's Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. Jalen Hurts, we have him at 38. So not bad.
Where's Russell Wilson?
4.
That's debatable. Where's Ryan Tannehill? 8.
8.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He's lower than Russ?
Yes, sir. Russ is better than Tannehill. Come on. Russ is a game changer. Tannehill's a game manager. Tannehill's an elite game manager, buddy.
Russell Wilson went from a 3 Michelin star restaurant to like cooking out of his garage by the time they played the Rams.
Yeah, that's a little bit true, but I don't blame Russ for not cooking.
Not even true. That is not true.
I blame Russ for throwing the food in the microwave.
Brian Schottenheimer and Pete Carroll just gave him the wrong ingredients and the wrong menu.
So false.
They gave him the wrong menu.
They gave him
Give him
saltine when he
saltine
asked for
crackers
salt.
and some ketchup. You don't expect him to make a freaking 3-star Michelin restaurant.
But the
He
thing
has
is, you
no intermediate passing routes. They don't run the ball at all. The only options are throwing it 40 yards down the field.
Okay.
What do you want him to do? He made an amazing play that
Drew.
literally only Russell Wilson could have done against the Rams. What do you want him to do?
Drew, you have the seasoned steak. You have the cut of the leg. You have a nice seasoned steak with DK
Which
Metcalf,
is Patrick
right?
Mahomes' team, and then you have
Drew.
Russell Wilson with some saltine crackers
Okay,
and
guys.
some ketchup.
Let's move this along.
Drew,
Move this
you
along.
have the nice severed. You have the nice steak on one side as DK Metcalf. You have the nice toasty, buttered, creamy potatoes with Lockett on the other side. You have the tasty but not so much desirable greens with Chris Carson, right? They're there, they're healthy, but they're not that good. You have the coming out of the ground, sparkling water of the tight ends and the tight ends that you've developed. And then of course you've got that little seasoning, that goes along the steak at your fullback. I mean, gotta give him props. And then finishing that off, you have a nice salad of your offensive line and your left tackle, with some little French drizzling on it for your second string running backs. And it puts together a great meal for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, and then Brian Schottenheimer and Pete Carroll left it out.
And they gave him the wrong menu, buddy. Imagine if you're the chef at the restaurant and you look at the ingredients list and then you look at the instructions and it says like
Russell's trying to make Chinese food.
Put the hamburger into the water and boil it. Of course you don't boil the hamburger, but that's what Brian Schottenheimer is doing. He's telling Russ to boil the ingredients when he's supposed to fry them, right? They're giving him the wrong directions. That's why he stopped cooking.
Okay, let's move on.
He stopped cooking and started frying.
Okay, we're gonna do a little MLB now.
Ooh, I don't know that.
Just some Mariners rumors, right?
Yeah,
not
Mariners.
MLB, just Mariners.
Okay, just Mariners. Kyle Seager, and I don't really know what's really. Levi, you want to touch on that?
Well, as I tried to tell you, Cody, but clearly you can't read.
He's gonna go to like the Brewers or the Mets.
There's rumors that he might be traded to the Mets or maybe the Brewers. What do you guys think? Seth, Drew, Miles. Let's ask Miles. Miles, do you see Seager going anywhere, or does Seager stay with the Mets?
I see Seager staying with the Mariners. He's been here for such a long time. I think he's just gonna stay right where he is right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hope that he stays as well because he had a good season last year. Drew, what would you want in return for Seager if we do trade him?
I'll
the
stay
polar bear.
Really quick.
I
would trade Seager, and I'd be totally fine with trading Seager just for the simple fact that
my boy Seager.
I think he's past his prime. I think everyone loves Seager. I gotta talk to him. He's a nice guy. Gave him his autograph. Just I love Seager, but at the same time, I really want to go to the playoffs. And Seager is exiting his prime, and I think we're at least another year away from the playoffs. And by that time, I think Seager is not going to be a worthy. He might be a starter, but not going to be a worthy team on a playoff team. So I think we should get something for him while we have the chance. And I think I would want maybe a prospect, but like a prospect that's only like 1 year away from the MLB. And yeah, that's what I would want.
To be honest, if I traded him, I would just want to get like a solid middle of the rotation pitcher because our pitching staff is so unreliable. But I think he's probably good to keep around just to mentor the young guys. This year we probably aren't making the playoffs. I think 2022 we will make the playoffs, and then it would be kind of cool to have Seager to stick around. But I think with that, we should move on. Another quick thing about Seattle news, or not really Seattle, but Portland news. The Trailblazers, obviously you've already seen our videos on the reactions, but how do you think that the injuries to CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic is going to impact?
Oh yeah, those are not that good.
Cody, you want to give us your take on it, and then we can go to Miles and Alex as well.
I think the CJ injury is sort of bigger than the Nurkic injury because CJ is such a good player. He's very underrated around the league, but He's the second weapon. Dame is the leader. CJ is the second in command. He's good. I think for a while he had like a streak of never not getting under 20 points in a game. I'm not sure if he still has that, but he's doing really well this season. And I think we really need him. Nurkic also, big man, and his Cantor stepping in for him though. He's doing about as good as he was, maybe a little even better in my opinion. Nurkic is though like the center. Our team is kind of so yeah. I think we kind of need him too. But
Seth is making some faces. Seth, you want to weigh in?
Cantor is maybe the worst defensive player of all time. I know he had 3 blocks in that game, but he flat out sucks. He can't guard.
Nurkic?
I mean, he can't guard.
Cantor.
He couldn't guard the player on the entire court. He's awful at defense. Sure, yeah,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Nurkic can do that too. Nurkic is defensive. He was coming a defender. Nurkic was a great defender. Cantor is just such a bad defender. Any given a good center or even an average will put up 20 to 30 on Enes Kanter's
good point. Good point.
weak defensive bum. Honestly, he's that bad.
Levi?
I think they've said what I would say. Losing CJ hurts a lot, and losing Nurkic as well. It's a really unfortunate. Nurkic, he missed a lot of last season too, so I kind of just feel bad for him. Like missing last season, now missing parts of this season. It's going to be a long injury. I still think the Blazers are a playoff team, but this definitely hurts their position. But hopefully they can have enough to get past this upcoming month without CJ and then get him back, and they should be fine. They should be fine to make the playoffs. But yeah.
CJ's out for 4 weeks, out for 6 weeks, which will be around a month and a half for both of them to be fully healthy. And as long as they just can sustain a playoff spot, we don't need to be healthy for the regular season. We saw that a couple years ago when Nurk went down, and we saw that in the playoffs. We still made a deep run without Nurk. Last year, we made the playoffs. We stole a game from the Lakers. I mean, as long as we just get healthy for the playoffs, and don't really care about as long as the game can just carry the offense enough, and hopefully the depth that we got in the offseason, Ronnie Hood's back, and we can help stay on a 6-5 seed area while they're gone.
Okay. I don't know if we really have anything else to say.
Yeah, just really quickly on Northwest Sports, other ways in Northwest Sports news, the Seattle Kraken have hired a new assistant general manager, Jason Broderill from the Buffalo Sabres. So I don't think we have much to say about this right now. All he is an assistant GM, but it is pretty big news from the Kraken. We haven't heard much about them in a while, and also just I think that's all actually about the Kraken. So with that, I think that's all the Seattle teams we've covered now.
Yeah, except for the Sounders, but I don't know how much is going on over there.
That's true.
But
and also the Huskies basketball, they're 1-11 now. So they haven't.
God.
They haven't won a game since the last time. They haven't won a game since the last time.